Today we're in Paradise RV Park at Palmer and Wasilla, right outside of Anchorage. As you can see, it's a nice country community right out here on the farm. Beautiful views of the mountain range. On the way into town, we passed the Matanuska Glacier, which if you have time is a day trip or two all by itself. You can really get out there and enjoy the beauty of Alaska. You can see from the top of the rig that Paradise RV Park is not a large RV resort. It is a smaller park, but they do a really great job. It's surrounded by these mountain ranges. You're right on the farm, as mentioned. And I got to tell you that Yvonne and Stefan are super accommodating. We had a hard time getting into the area, and they took good care of us. If you're a golfer or into planes, you're right next door. You're at the end of a runway, and you're right there at the golf course. So if you want to go hit some balls, you can certainly do that. Now, Paradise has bathrooms, Wi-Fi, full hookups with 50 amp. These are coded bathrooms, so you have the privacy, and they are well maintained. Here you can see we have been traveling with our friends, the Trinellos. We both have 44-foot rigs, and they fit just fine. They were back in sites, but no big deal. This is a common area with a fire pit and a grill. It definitely gets used, and it's right centralized for everybody. You have local trash that you'll be able to drop off to. This looks full, but the very next morning they came and picked it up. So as mentioned, Yvonne and Stefan do a real good job of maintaining and taking care of their property. As mentioned, you are near the end of a runway, but you don't get large jets. You usually get planes like these, multi-engine, usually propeller, and it can be a lot of fun if you're into aviation, especially, which I am. I enjoyed sitting out there watching the planes go overhead. Another unique thing about this park is that they have raspberry bushes inside the park, and we're going to walk up and take a look at these. They're actually growing right here on the property. We thought it was really cool, so when we took our walks, we made sure to walk by there and take a look. Also worth mentioning is that Palmer and Wasilla have a handful of restaurants that are pretty good. We ate at the Noisy Goose right down the street from the RV park. We do recommend. So heading out away from the RV park, we hit up the Old Knik River Bridge. The overview of this is that it was abandoned in 1975. It's an old truss bridge on the Old Glen Highway passing through town. And now it is primarily a historical centerpiece where people go to visit. And as you can tell, there's quite a lot of graffiti art and other things to look at. It's pretty interesting. So next up, as we travel a little further out with our friends, the Trinellos and the Wandering Eight, we are at the Eklutna Hydroelectric Project Tail Race. Pretty interesting name. But what it predominantly is a place for fishermen to go catch some salmon, and the waters are pretty chalky blue. They're pretty cool to look at, but on this day we were intending to go for a hike, so we did. And this hike is pretty unique in the fact that there are these classic cars that have been abandoned there. And hey there, Jonathan. And it is really cool to check out these cars and how they were just left there. I'm sure it was not great for the environment, but now it's a destination for people to go check out, and we enjoyed it. Probably goes without saying, but worth noting that since these are classic cars, they are metal. There's always a chance for you to step on something, so be careful while you're out there. So next up, we head down into Anchorage, and we are checking out all kinds of things. So, for example, roadside attractions like the largest tattoo gun in the world, all the way to architecture by John Lautner, which was an apprentice to Frank Lloyd Wright, one of our favorite architects. Really a lot of mid-century modern homes in Anchorage. Some are newer builds, some are definitely older, but they take really good care of them, and they're absolutely amazing. So after checking out some architecture, we decided to head on down to some beach access, and it was really cool. We were able to see how far the tide had gone out. Now, it wasn't super easy for everybody to get down to, but she made it. Well done. And it was cool to take a long stroll across the beach and just check things out. Generally speaking, we saw some airplanes flying overhead. Some went out further than others to check it out. It was a good time. So because we saw the airplanes flying overhead, we knew that there was an airport nearby, and it was the airport for Anchorage. So we decided to head on down and check that out, and we got a great view of the overlook for Anchorage. And at this point, you're about 45 minutes or so, maybe an hour away from the RV park. And there one goes, and another, and you sit at the end of this runway, and they just keep coming.
Dad, that was giant!
That was a big one.
Well, we hope you found this one useful for Paradise, Alaska RV Park and the surrounding areas of Palmer, Wasilla, and Anchorage. Paradise was a fantastic jump-off point. Yvonne and Stefan were great hosts, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Join us for the journey as we continue on over to Homer, Soldotna, and Sterling, Alaska.